traditional method of waste disposal is putting it in a hole in the form of a landfill, which is then capped with soil or sand. The problem with landfill is the environmental impact. That is leakage into our waterways, carbon dioxide into our atmosphere.
What we have here in the background is what we would call illegal dumping of waste materials that consist of general waste, household waste, as well as building construction waste. The problem with illegal dumping is that it's a source of waste that's not controlled by the waste operator, whether it be council or a private enterprise. So what it does is it actually provides pollution to the environment that's non-controlled.
The problem with illegal dumping is illegal dumping and stuff might get into our waterways, damage our wildlife, creeks and waterholes.
So when it rains over waste, it becomes a leachate, or the chemicals get mixed up with the rainwater, which find its way into our water sources, which also finds its way into our drinking water. Apart from contaminating our water sources, it also contaminates our soil and breeds vermin, and it creates a lot of flies.
Traditionally, we've used the landfill method, and we're moving towards a more sustainable and recyclable future.
Hi, I'm Deepika, and I'm a researcher at the Northern Institute, Charles Darwin University. At the moment, I'm working with the local councils of very remote regions, and what we are trying to do is understand how can we manage construction and demolition waste in these remote regions.
Remote community accessibility is difficult, so what we're trying to do now is sort our waste as best as possible to reduce our footprint on the environment in these remote communities.
Recycling is very important. It keeps our community clean and tidy, and we can reuse the stuff that we're recycling.
All waste management starts with sorting the materials. The biggest waste in construction and demolition activities is concrete, bricks and tiles, and they are the ones that can be recovered most easily. The beauty of crushing concrete, bricks and tiles is that can form the sub-base of roads and can be used in remote roadworks.
So if we can get the contractors on board with the council to sort out the waste as best as possible so we can manage our landfill site and maximise its usage, council and contractors will both benefit, and when community in tow will benefit from that.
A tip for contractors is to come to our local council. We can provide correct information of waste disposal, what can go into landfill and what can go to recycling.
Within my time here already, I can see the positive flow and effect with the contractor and the council engagement, purely because they'd like to do the right thing and stay within their contract obligations, and we really need to make this work.
We want to use a dump, mate.
All right. Now, you're pretty familiar with this, but we'll go through it again with you, mate. You understand the waste management procedures that we have at council. So you come in.
As a contractor, when we turn up to community, we go to the office and they'll explain their fees and charges, and then we'll normally visit the landfill facility and they'll explain what waste they want separated and how to go about that, and we just take it from there.
As you've already come into the council office and we've worked out an estimated volumes of your waste, as we're at that landfill facility, you can see this is our community drop-off base, and over here is our contractor waste disposal area. Now we'll both work together and go over there and we'll decide, and we'll actually, with the form, we'll work out the volumes. We'll both sign off on the volumes, and then those volumes can be agreed on, then sent to your administration for payment. Once we've worked with the contractors, they come to the site themselves and sort their own material. And once we've established a contractor that we do trust, and we understand that he's following our waste management procedures, he is then telling his new staff to follow these procedures as well with direction. As these contractors have signed a contract in regards to the waste management, it is part of their obligation to do so, as they will be in breach if not.
The material that landfills can accept in our remote communities are found on the council websites. The material that needs to go back to an area such as Alice Springs major landfill site, which are listed or hazardous waste, can be found on the Northern Territory EPA website under listed wastes or hazardous wastes.
Listed wastes, such as asbestos, must go to major centres such as Alice Springs, Katherine or Darwin. These centres are set up to handle these types of listed wastes.
Tyres are an example of a listed waste. Listed waste such as tyres hold a lot more chemicals, so they need to be processed away from community.
Well, yes, Central Australia is a very large place, but within the councils we all only have one landfill site, and that site must be used to its maximum capacity. And if we can recycle everything that shouldn't go into that pit, the longevity of that pit will be there for a lot longer. And just a tip for contractors that are planning on coming and working for government or community councils, really have a look at your waste management contract. Understand it before you sign it. So when you do come to council, you have a firm understanding and we can touch on the finer points that you're not aware of.
Hey, what up? You know, Philip James Ellis, Chabananga, Ginger Bodrin. Waste management is good for the community's health.
What is good is the council and contract to work together. It's important to have good waste management so it protects our environment, our water and our health.